holy shit.
This is pretty massive.
This is massive, but also like the
Aquaman, what is fish, man? That's not gonna be cool at all. Boom, in your face. Hey guys, welcome back to another Composers React, and we're here with Joshua van der Spreng.
Good, yeah, that's me.
You are a multi-talented guy, entrepreneur, composer, but you also rock on the stage with your bass guitar. You did, I believe, like 3 albums, Emotional Waters, Epic Adventures, and you have been pitching a lot of music as well for trailers.
Definitely, yeah.
It's why did you actually start to be in this business? Why are you so eager to dive into music like that?
Well, I was on a music school, conservatory, and I had to go for an internship. And when I started, I wanted to go to LA because that's where the music scene is, right?
Yeah.
And then the company where my internship was, they were in trailer music. And I didn't know at the time that it were separate tracks for trailers and films. I was like, oh, they take some music from the film and put it in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like blown away that it was a separate industry.
It's a separate bubble.
Yeah.
A campaign bubble.
And I was like, oh, nice, this is epic Hans Zimmer music and I want to do that.
Yeah, it definitely is. We always ask every composer to bring something that was speaking to them. Which trailer did you bring?
The Aquaman trailer, the first one.
Aquaman,
Yes.
okay. This is a massive one. Let's dive into it and see what we think.
Yeah, let's go.
A whole universe.
One day, a new king will come who will use the power of the
That's
trident
cute.
to put Atlantis back together again.
Atlantis.
It's the exact spot that Volko gave me my first swimming lesson.
Massive hits.
I already know how to swim.
Not even close. You have to forget all the teaching of the surface world. Go deeper. Uncover your Atlantean instincts.
Go.
He spent his
Epic
entire
kind of
life
backing.
training to be the best.
They casted the right person for this.
My parents made
My
me what I
man.
am.
Cool, gritty sound there.
I am the protector of the deep.
Man,
It's very rough.
very gritty.
In this trident resides the power of Atlantis.
She's not an actress.
In the wrong hands,
No.
it would bring
Some issues there.
Another
in the
story.
hands of the true heir, it would unite above and below.
Very gritty horns, like distorted almost.
To rise again.
You must stop him.
And how do you propose we do that?
By retrieving this.
I already got one of those.
Not
Of the
like
sound
this
design.
one, you don't.
Change one.
War is
Of
coming
course
to
he
the
did this
surface
one.
whether you like it or not.
Oof, epic. Man, that whisper sound there, man. Insanely
I always
epic.
knew you were special. You believed you'd be the one to
so
unite
massive.
our 2 worlds.
It's really a large track.
Atlantis has always had a king. Now I need something more.
Man. Oh, it keeps building, huh?
But what could be greater than a king?
Oh, it's getting bigger.
Higher and even bigger than it was before. My God. Man. Ooh, that's very nice. How it opens up there.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like that. That last part, because it's how big can you go, right?
It's like when I was working with the publishers in LA, it was always getting an email back. No, it needs to be bigger, bigger.
Yeah, it can never go big enough
No.
for Hollywood. But how it opens up in the end, when the reveal, kind of the logo is there, is great. I also like that this is not your typical choice as your favorite superhero, but then they use such a likable guy to play this, and then in this epic adventure, like I think they made some right choices for this one.
And what I really like about this track, and what just I was in the cinema watching a movie. I don't remember which one, and there was the trailer, and I was like, "Holy shit!
This is pretty massive."
This is massive, but also like the timing. It's like bum bum,
Yeah.
and it's going back. But after this, I went to LA. I already planned the trip, and I found out who the composer was,
Oh yeah.
and I texted him on Instagram, and I met him there. It was
Oh no way.
yeah, it was just a guy like us, just just a composer living at his parents still.
No way.
Yeah, he made this from his bedroom.
Oh, that is so cool. So, but how did you find him? So it's always quite hard to see the credits for who did the trailer
Trailer, yeah.
music or even the trailer edit, like on video. So how did you figure out who was this? Because it's mostly also this secret libraries and it's not really known who wrote the music. You can't really Shazam it, or
No.
sometimes actually you can. What was your tactic here?
Or it was Instagram and it just was happening. It came on my timeline with all the pages. But I remember there was a YouTube page, Trailer Music Weekly,
Yeah,
and I believe it came on there.
it's featured there.
Yeah, it featured there. Messaged him.
It is cool. Maybe you can say something about pitching, because like sometimes you get these briefs and they say it's for this movie, or sometimes they don't even say the name of the movie because they're so afraid it leaks out. Then there was the second one of this,
Second
Aquaman
one,
2,
yeah.
and I believe we pitched for it as well, Tom and Tone.
Yeah.
But then you said as well that separately you have been pitching for this.
I pitched as well. Yeah, it was. I got asked to do that with the composer Nicholas from LA,
Yeah.
and we started working on it. And I don't know. I think we got pretty far, but then it's like, okay, if you got the part, you will hear. And then
Yeah.
2 years later, it's like
Still didn't hear anything.
Still waiting.
But I have to say, with Aquaman 2, it was a little bit an issue because there was also this lawsuit with Johnny and Amber, and I guess that postponed something because this was some time ago already that we were pitching for this for the second one, and then it took a long while for something to come out. This usually happens, but for this one it took particularly long.
Yeah,
like,
I
okay,
believe it was first year of COVID or second year,
something like that.
It's 2-3 years ago.
But no, it's interesting how that goes, and of course you mostly get to hear good news, but when it's not being placed, you also don't hear anything. So you're just in the dark somewhere.
You're always waiting.
But this one is a good one. Like I love the whole build up, and especially to make the not your usual favorite superhero extremely epic.
Yeah,
almost as a compensation for Fishman.
It's huge. It's huge. And like all the details in what you said when we watched it, the distortion on the horns and the strings, and you hear the guitar taking over the line.
It's cool.
Epic.
It's a nice mix, and yeah, definitely this on the bigger than life part, epicness. But no, I think it's the right fit for a movie like this, as well as much as I like the more sentimental ones, where it's more emotional and it goes a little bit more close to the heart, especially in the beginning that you see you being raised and you have like this family. You could change this into a very sentimental one, but I believe this was the right choice for this one.
Yeah. Also because it was the first, so people had to watch
Aquaman,
it. Yeah.
what is Fishman? That's not going to be cool at all. Boom, in your face. Hey, so when you were writing for Aquaman 2, like do you remember a little bit of the brief that you got?
Oh,
where did you start? What was the process? You were in Atlantis, just like this underwater world. Like how?
I think
do you start?
Already got a track.
Okay.
Which came close to the brief. And it was like, okay, let's make this as close as possible.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's a long time ago. I don't remember.
You don't remember exactly. No, I'm just asking because some people are like, oh, but do you start with some like a water sound design? Are we going underwater first, or is it more of an epic track? Like I'm not sure. I couldn't really hear because of all the VO in it. If there's like a lot of bubbly effects where it's like really almost. As a joke to the underwater world. I don't think it was in there.
I don't think so either. It was like, let's break it all. Just
break it all.
Destroy everything.
No, and it's also a good thing to say is, especially when you work on these epic things, sometimes you have like your act 1 where you're going to set up kind of the whole atmosphere, and then act 2 is like, okay, we got a little bit of a conflict. Act 3, okay, here's a climactic.
Yeah.
But then I remember when I was writing for these kind of epic soundtracks, At one point, you got it back, and then you're already thinking that you're going to max. And then they're saying, can you make
4.
another climax,
Yeah.
like kind of Act 4, but then bigger? And sometimes I was like, okay, but I don't even have headroom anymore. I don't know what to do. So how will you solve this? How will you solve if somebody says, okay, I think I'm already going all out here. Someone's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, but can we go larger?
Well, I got the tip to start at the biggest part,
Okay.
writing, and go down, so you can skip parts. So you're starting at your biggest, and go down. But it's so familiar that you got an email back with, okay,
larger,
this
bigger.
is nice. I want it larger, more epic. You can go bigger and bigger, and then you have like the Act 4, and everything is like destroyed, and then it's like, okay, do a small Act 5. Just
it's a good one. So you were saying you just start with the climactic parts as much as you have, and if you have that figured out, then of course a subtraction of that or a smaller version of that more subtle one is easier to make it your Act 1.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm not sure if I ever... Yeah, no, I do actually have started like that way. But I think mostly if it's for something like this, I do start with an atmosphere.
Yeah.
But if it's more electronic music, for some reason, I start more climactic.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I will start with setting the tone in an Act 1. But after that, when you have like the harmonics and your melody, the ID, you can go to like Act 3 and build it, and then you can go... It's like going back and forth, but you want to go where you end.
Yeah, it's good.
Then you can put something away and build towards it.
And I like that you said that this guy made it from his bedroom, and then if you listen to something like this, you're like, oh, I need like a $1 million studio to make this.
Flabbergasted. Really, it was
from the bedroom.
It was his name is Phil Lober. The most awesome guy I
Respect,
know.
Phil.
Yeah, it's very nice. And I was like, okay, I'm going to meet this composer. And I was like, oh, it's in my bedroom. Okay, let's go upstairs. And it was just a scream, and I used PC, of course.
Nice.
But
that's cool.
So,
I have to say, one of the more epic ones that we have been showing, and I think it's also a funny story because we didn't really talk about pitching a lot.
No.
So it's nice for the people that are tuning in, or some producers, composers, like, oh, okay, we are not the only ones struggling with those pitches.
No.
It is
doesn't need a big studio.
Yeah, and that's also a nice thing, which for me is always, and especially when I started out, is very inspiring. Instead of like the story, you have like this 3-year-old kid that could play the violin like it's a masterpiece. Yeah. And then of course, like he had all the success afterwards. But then if you hear that somebody else like started or has like a studio that is kind of more into your reach, I think that's always a more inspiring story than the bigger than life stories.
Definitely.
But you can create bigger than life trailers from that.
Yeah.
Oh well, thanks for taking this one. I believe it's a beautiful example from a nice and epic trailer. So thanks, man.
I still love it. No problem.
If I'm actually very curious, are you gonna watch Aquaman 2, and what do you think of all the changes that happened over time with from Aquaman 1 to 2? Also, if you like this type of videos, check out some other ones. We are doing more podcasts where we go a little bit more deeper into some more information or about some methods that we're using, or we do Compose Explain, where we dive a little bit deeper into the methods that we use for the production of music. Thank you, man, for bringing this one.
No problem.
If you like it as well, make sure to subscribe and like, hit the bell button if you want to get alerts. For now, I want to thank you for watching and see you next time. Hey there, I appreciate you watching the video. If you like this one, check out this video or that video. And if you want to support the channel, make sure to click on top of my head on the logo and subscribe to the channel.